let's link it back to wealth because people be like, well, he's just talking about all this other stuff. No, I'm sorry. If you talk about Black economics, you got to talk about being Black first. And what that means is that you cannot discuss Black economics without talking about Black issues. That if I'm talking about why we need to invest, I got to figure out why we don't invest. Before you figure out how to make the patient healthy, you got to figure out what's the source of your unhealthiness. Like I want you to get well, but I need to know what are you doing? How are you gonna tell me what to do to? Well, because I can't heal you if you don't stop unhealing yourself. Like so, for example, I was thinking about that Young Miami song, "Spin That," it's like, "Where my scamming ass niggas at? Where my boosted at?" And I'm just I'm utterly fascinated by how many people do not understand the problem with having your children repeating a mantra over and over again that's not just going to get them sent to prison, but is going to lead to poverty in extraordinary ways, right? BET Awards were like, yeah, that's the anthem, mother. And then at the same time, these same sons of bitches will go out and say, we don't understand why Black wealth is dropping. Because why are Black people spending all their money? Well, because you're celebrating it. You're making it the coolest thing in the world. You're telling your children on a deep subconscious level, you're hypnotizing your children with a message that says, when you get money, spend that shit, spend that shit, spend that shit, spend that shit. Right? Because you never took a psychology class and you never had a psychologist explain to you that what you repeat to yourself about yourself becomes what you become. That creates what you are. But trying to understand like why Black people are overspending. So on one hand, you got the most popular song in the Black community with a chorus that says "spin that shit, spin that shit, spin that shit." The Jewish kids, their parents are saying invest that shit, save that shit, invest that shit, save that shit, right? So then you go up, and then 20 years later, you wonder why are your Black babies having to go work for their babies? Why are your kids enslaved by their kids? Why do your kids have no power and their kids have all the power? Well, because in America, money is power. And you have no power because you trained your children to give their power away. Now we're 50, so we gotta grow, we gotta elevate the conversation if we're gonna ever solve this problem. Because here's the thing: